Early on a quiet Friday morning in Melbourne, a historic synagogue was engulfed in flames. Masked attackers broke in, setting the building alight as worshippers fled for their lives. It was a scene of destruction, fear, and hate. But amidst the chaos, two miracles emerged. One saved lives, and the other proved that even fire cannot destroy faith. Stay with us as we unravel this shocking story of tragedy, resilience, and hope. December 6, 2024 started like any other day for the Adass Israel Synagogue community in Ripponlea, Melbourne. Before the sun rose, a few early risers had gathered to learn the Bible and prepare for morning prayers. But at 4:10 a.m., their world changed forever. Witnesses saw two masked figures breaking a glass window to enter the synagogue. They carried gas cans and poured accelerant throughout one section of the building. Moments later, flames erupted, turning the sacred space into an inferno. It was terrifying, said one eyewitness. They banged on the doors and windows, poured petrol, and set the fire. If we hadn't escaped through the back door, I can't even imagine. As flames spread rapidly, congregants ran for their lives. 2 people suffered burns, but miraculously, no one was fatally injured. By the time emergency crews arrived, the synagogue was fully engulfed. It took 60 firefighters and 17 trucks to control the blaze within an hour. The damage was devastating. The once beautiful synagogue, a cornerstone of Melbourne's Jewish community, was left unrecognizable. Sacred books were reduced to ash, and the building sustained structural damage that would take months, if not years, to repair. But among the destruction, firefighters discovered something astonishing. As they sifted through the charred remains, the Bible scrolls were found completely untouched by the flames. Not a single letter had been scorched. This wasn't just a coincidence, it was a miracle. For Jews, the Bible is the heart of our faith, a symbol of our connection to God. To see these scrolls survive while everything around them burned was a sign that no fire could destroy the soul of this community. This attack didn't happen in isolation. It comes amidst a frightening rise in anti-Semitism. Since October 2023, anti-Semitic incidents in Australia have quadrupled, with over 2,000 reported cases. Protests outside synagogues, vandalism, and hate speech have become alarmingly common. Just hours before this arson, anti-Israel protesters surrounded Sydney's Great Synagogue, preventing worshippers from leaving. And now, the firebombing of Adass Israel has left Melbourne's Jewish community shaken. As Jeremy Liebler, president of the Zionist Federation of Australia, put it, this is not just an attack on a building, it's an attack on our people, our history, and our future. Amidst the tragedy, 2 miracles stand out. First, the timing of the attack. If the arsonist had struck just an hour later, the synagogue would have been full of worshippers. For services, hundreds of lives could have been lost. But the second miracle was discovered in the ashes, the unharmed Bible scrolls. To understand the significance of this, you need to know how central the Bible is to Jewish life. The Bible scroll is more than just a sacred text. It is the heartbeat of the Jewish community. Every letter, every word, every line of a Bible scroll is handwritten by a specially trained scribe, following meticulous laws and traditions that date back thousands of years. The process can take over a year to complete. Each scroll is crafted with extraordinary care, using parchment made from the skin of kosher animals, and written with a quill dipped in ink, prepared according to strict guidelines. Every detail, down to the shape of each letter, holds spiritual significance. If even one letter is written incorrectly, the entire scroll is deemed invalid until it is corrected. Beyond their spiritual value, Bible scrolls are also incredibly expensive. A single Bible scroll can cost anywhere between $40,000 to $50,000, or even more, depending on its craftsmanship. But their true value cannot be measured in money alone. A Bible scroll represents generations of faith, resilience, and devotion. It is carried with reverence, kissed when passed, and danced with during celebrations. So when the Bible scrolls of the Adass Israel Synagogue were found intact, it was more than a miracle. It was a message, a reminder that while buildings can be destroyed, the soul of a community, its connection to God, and its enduring faith cannot be touched. As one congregant put it, Our synagogue may be gone, but our community and our faith are stronger than ever. The sight of those untouched scrolls was a beacon of hope for a community reeling from devastation. It showed that even in the face of hatred and destruction, the essence of what holds the Jewish people together remains unshaken. The attack on Adass Israel Synagogue has left Melbourne's Jewish community shaken. For many, this wasn't just an isolated act of violence. It was a wake-up call, a painful reminder that anti-Semitism, though often dismissed as a relic of the past, remains a very real and present threat in Australia today. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese called this attack an act of anti-Semitism and pledged that those responsible would face justice. Yet, as comforting as those words may be, many in the Jewish community believe that words are not enough. Australia has long prided itself on being a multicultural society, a nation that values and protects its diverse communities. But this attack raises urgent questions. Is Australia doing enough to safeguard its Jewish population? In the past year alone, anti-Semitic incidents in Australia have quadrupled, with over 2,000 cases reported. Jewish schools and synagogues are increasingly being targeted by hate speech, vandalism, and now arson. These aren't just statistics, they're lived experiences that create a sense of fear and vulnerability among Jewish Australians. Communities are calling for increased security at synagogues, schools, and Jewish institutions across the country. This includes heightened police presence, better surveillance systems, and stronger legislation to deter acts of hate. Leaders like Jeremy Leibler of the Zionist Federation of Australia have also urged the government to take a more proactive stance in condemning anti-Semitism, both domestically and on the world stage. As Alex Rivchin from the Executive Council of Australian Jewry puts it, you can't be surprised when mobs are allowed to march through Sydney chanting "Globalize the Intifada." Hate speech left unchecked inevitably turns into action. This is what globalizing the Intifada looks like. Despite the challenges, the Jewish community has shown remarkable resilience. In the face of destruction, they have pledged to rebuild, not just the synagogue, but their sense of safety and belonging. But this can't be done alone. Protecting the Jewish community requires a collective effort, one that involves not just Jewish leaders, but Australian society as a whole. The flames at Adass Israel may have been extinguished, but the scars will remain unless decisive action is taken. This is a moment for Australia to reaffirm its commitment to standing against hate in all its forms. It's not just about protecting one community, it's about upholding the values of equality, safety, and respect that define Australia itself. Leaders from around the world echoed this sentiment. Israeli President Isaac Herzog called for stronger action against the global rise in Jew hatred, while the World Zionist Organization declared Jewish blood must not be spilled in vain. But the most powerful response came from the community itself. Despite the fear and destruction, Melbourne's Jewish community has pledged to rebuild. Security measures have been increased, and leaders are calling for unity in the face of hate. As one rabbi put it, we will light Shabbat candles this week, not in fear, but in defiance of those who tried to silence us. The fire at Adass Israel Synagogue is a painful reminder of the hate that still exists in our world, but it's also a story of resilience and miracles. The timing of the attack, the survival of the Torah scrolls, and the unwavering spirit of the Jewish community show us that even in darkness, there is light. What do you think was the biggest miracle in this story? Was it the Torah scrolls, the timing, or the community's strength to rise again? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if this story moved you, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with others. Click thanks to support our work and help us continue telling stories that inspire. Together we can stand against hate and amplify the voices of hope. Thank you for watching.